Namaste and Jai Hind. I think these are two ways of greeting which we should never forget. Things which I learned a little late, but I hope that we all always imbibe with us. First up, thank you very much for having me here at this wonderful campus. I did not know much about, I have to be very honest. But of what I saw, it's phenomenal that you have a campus like this. And I believe it's fully residential. Is that what it is? So all of you have left your homes and you've come here and made this your home, including the teachers, so which is good. And to come and speak with an audience which is largely going to be women was at first for me daunting, but then I loved this challenge because the way we have celebrated women, and when I say we, that is us as a civilization, in this geographical boundary that we now understand as Bharatvarsh. There's a reason why when they asked me, what would you like to speak on the contours of Y20, at a time when India is poised for the next 25 years, and we have a story that Prime Minister Narendra Modi says we must own, that the story is to make India or give India its due place in the discourse, in the global discourse, as a thought leader, as an innovation leader, as a leader for humanity, which will take humanity forward. Now, interestingly, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision for all of us by 2047 is just a repeat. It's a repeat of our itihasa. So when I say itihasa, it is not mythology, it is history, itihasa, as it happened. There is a reason why we are called Bharat. The word Bharat, do you know the meaning of the word Bharat? The word Bharat, Bha is sun, and Rath is moving towards the sun. So the idea is to a land that illuminizes the world, a land that celebrates knowledge. You know, if you go back and that's the reason why we need to understand where we come from and who we are, so that we can script the story of where we want to be and who we can be to the world. Do you all know Ramayana? Yeah. There is a character called Jambavan. Now, who was he? Who was Jambavan? What is the one single aspect of Jambavan that we remember from our stories of the Ramayana? Yes, please, go ahead. He reminded Hanuman of his abilities. Correct? Now, we all, ladies and gentlemen, as a country, as a civilization, as a people, are going through our Jambavan moment. We are the Hanuman. We do not realize the powers that we have. And if we realize the powers and the ability that we have, there is nothing that can stop us. And the Prime Minister's words are trying to do the same work of what Jambavan tried to do with a Hanuman who was not conscious. So that's why we are at a very critical point in our lifespan as a country, lifespan as a people, lifespan as a civilization. I know it's a little heavy, all that I'm telling you, but I'd like you to also think about this once I have finished talking and once we are out of this auditorium and once you go back into your own daily routines and lives and your challenges on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter and other platforms. But it's important. And there's a reason, and I'm trying to structurally build it for all of us. So why do I say this is our Jambavan moment, or our moment to realize the potential as Hanuman was made to realize? Our country, the Vedic knowledge, the scriptures that we have, the essence of all those scriptures is in a book, or is in a conversation between a warrior and his Sarathi in the middle of a battlefield. Okay, this has been written by Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasa or Vyasadeva as a kavya. And in that he inserts this conversation of God with human, or Narayana's conversation with Nara. Nara is Arjuna, Narayana is Krishna. And what I'm talking about is the Bhagavad Gita. It is also called the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Everywhere it is Bhagavanu Vacha or Shri Bhagavanu Vacha. Shri is woman. So even Krishna is addressed, or salutation is Shri. So that's the position of the woman or the Stri, the feminine element in our culture, in our system. एक दूसरे के पूरक हैं. So if patriarchy or male chauvinism is wrong, it's the other end of the pendulum. My belief is feminism is the other end of the pendulum. The aspect is that both are equal. And in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna very clearly dispels all gendernomics and castenomics when he says, and I'll come to that quote after I ask you a question. How would you like to be defined? How would you like to be judged? As a person, when somebody measures you, how would you as a person be like to be judged? Would you like to be judged on your gender? No. Would you like to be judged on your surname? No. Would you be like to be judged on merit? Correct? Merit. Merit is equal. Merit is all right. What does merit comprise of? Your ability, correct? And your action. These are 2 points which are fair points. Your ability and your action. इस पे मैं आपको जज करूं तो कुछ गलत नहीं है ना? हाँ, आपकी जो काबिलियत है और आपका जो कर्म है, ये दो ही चीजें हैं. I don't even know your name. Okay, I will ask both of you, I'll ask two of you to come to the fore and do something. I don't even know your names. How you do it and who does it better, you will judge, correct? Is that a fair equation? Right. So here's what Krishna tells Arjuna. He says, Chatur Varnam Maya Shristha Guna Karma Vibhagasaha. He says the 4 Varnas in society, those who are intellectual, those who are physically strong, those who have the ability to do business or to ply their wares, and those who do not have any of these abilities and therefore they have to do the basic menial work so that they have some place in society and society can make use of them. It's purely on guna and karma, ability and action. So Bhagavan himself is telling Nara, human or representation of the human being, this is how you need to run society. Now if that system has been corrupted, who's to blame? Us. Correct? It is us to blame. It is us who get caught in, what do we get caught in? We get caught in our egos. We get caught in our ahamkara. So the transition, or this is the beauty of our cultural knowledge. This is the beauty of our knowledge. First question, and the reason why I say we need to culturally embed ourselves is, tomorrow if somebody turns around and asks you, you're from Hindustan, you're from India, you're a Hindu. Why are you a Hindu? The beauty is, ladies and gentlemen, being a Hindu is not about following any religion. Faith can come and go. But the essence of our culture says, I judge a human being purely on their ability and their action. And you know what binds us together in this geographical Bhukhanda or Bharatvarsha, this geographical area? Because irrespective of what our faith, where we were in the farthermost corners here, say in Rajasthan or in Northeast or in Kashmir or in Kanyakumari or even in Gandhara, which is now in Afghanistan. The one thing that bound us all together is that we believed in karma and rebirth. And this is what the Brahmanda Purana and also the Vishnu Purana describes Bharatvarsha as. This is what the Encyclopedia Britannica defines Hinduism as. A group of mysterious people who believe in karma and rebirth. Do we all agree that we have got a battery which powers us, which is eternal, which is the Atma? The body will grow, perish and go away. The Atma will continue. But what does the Atma carry forward? the consequences of your actions, your karma. And that's what decides how you end up being or what form your Atma takes, this Atma takes in its next birth. What is this journey of the Atma? To eventually go and be part of the divine eternal soul. Correct? Eternal power, you may call it Brahmana, you may call it anybody. Now, who's a Brahmana? Brahma Jane iti Brahmana. The person who has knowledge of the Brahman, cosmos, science and spiritualism is a Brahmana. So it's jnana, no? Those who know. Those who do not know are not Brahmanas. Those who are in the pursuit are still students. So a Rishi and a Muni is a researcher, a thinker, a philosopher. A Rishi and a Muni is not some matlock sage walking around. No. A sadhu is somebody who is in sadhana. A Rishi and a Muni are people who are part of doing research, thinking, finding out, figuring out, and then encapsulating their understanding. It's again pursuit of knowledge. It's just pursuit of knowledge all along. Two aspects, pursuit of knowledge and secondly, service. Now, all of us are living beings, correct? Now think about it scientifically. This is also there said in our scriptures that Janmat Jayate Jantu. Samskarat Bhave Dvija. That means all of us are born as worms. In that body, when we are born as new beings, can you decide, oh, this is a scientist, oh, this is a astronaut, oh, this is a neta, oh, this is a journalist. That little thing is nothing but a living thing. It is samskara. As you get nurtured, as you get taught, as you get polished and shaped, that you are born again as somebody. You are born as just a being and then you become somebody. So it's there. It's part of our, again, part of our scriptures. What is the job of us as human beings? What do we do? As parents, we serve our children. Correct? As children, we serve. When I say serve, in the order of listen to our teachers, service to humanity. What is common across all faiths? The thread that is common across all faiths? Service. This is what our job is. Now, this is what Ramanujacharya actually has said when he defines Sanatana Dharma. Saying there is nothing. Sanatana means there has got no beginning, it's got no end. It's eternal. And what's the dharma of a human being as a living being? The dharma of a living being is service. Service towards to humanity and service to the divine. As long as you continue in this service to humanity and the service to the divine, you continue to do your role as a Jiva Tattva, which has got the highest level on this planet. That is, as a human being. A plant is also a Jiva Tattva, has got life in it, but it's jara, it cannot do much. Right? Ants have two dimensions. Human beings, so they know forward and backward, they don't know up and down. Human beings have 3 dimensions. Right? Science says there were 40 dimensions which have collapsed into 9 dimensions. So if we know 3 dimensions and we are superior to ants, dogs have the same brain lobes like human beings do. But a dog does not know the difference between sitting in an Audi and sitting in a theatre and sitting in a stadium. It will continue to behave the same way as long as it's got its master next to it or owner next to it. Right? It will behave the same way. So that's what differentiates us and makes us superior to dogs. But we also know only 3 dimensions, right? Is that possible that somebody knows 4 dimensions, knows 5 dimensions, 6 dimensions, 7 dimensions? So can you teach a dog what you know entirely? Or you will have to tell the dog accept, right? Accept what this knowledge is. Accept what I am telling you because I know more than you. So if there is a 4th dimension, somebody who understands 4 dimensions, 5 dimensions, 6 dimensions, they come down and tell you, listen, you know only 3 dimensions, accept this because this is the reality. No matter how much you think you know, you will not understand the concepts and the forces of the universe. You understand your role. Your role is service. Your role is to ensure that you elevate yourself from where you are in society, and you help society evolve. Now let's take that and bring it back to the concept of nationhood and what we can do. How many of us? So if our job is to serve, and if our job is that we are born as Indians, what is our job then? Our job is to serve humanity overall, but first our country. Right? Again, the importance of the feminine. Do we call ourselves Bharat Pita? Bharat Pita ki jai nahi bolte na. Bharat Mata ki jai bolte. So again, for us, our country is our mother. The importance of the feminine again stands out. The importance of the woman as the nurturer, the progenitor, the creator also stands out. Our country still has 51% as its population as women. How many nations across the world have nearly 50%, if not more, of their population as women? And we are 1/5 of the world's population. So do we need others to tell us how to treat women in our country? Okay. The other thing is, do you feel our history has a lot of brave women? A lot of women achievers, not even brave, achievers. Yes. There's a book called Arya, Aryaa. Please make a note of it. It's a compilation, it's an anthology of Vedic women. How many of you know who is Gargi? Yes, who is Gargi? Yes, ladies, who is Gargi? Don't Google it. Gargi was a rishi, and she was called a Brahmavadini, someone who had knowledge of the Brahman. Why is Gargi special? She was named after Garga Muni. Garga Muni is the son of Rishi Bharadwaj. At the times of Krishna and Garga Muni were contemporaries. But Gargi was named after Garga Muni. But Gargi, in her Tarka Shastra, in a debate with Yagnavalkya, perhaps the most intelligent rishis of his times at that time, brought out of him knowledge that today we know as yoga. The 198 lines of Yoga Sutra, which are part of the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, were brought out in a discourse, and this entire discourse is mentioned in that Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, where someone like Gargi challenges a Yagnavalkya on the concept of Brahman and also asks him, what is yoga? So yoga is yoking the human being to the cosmos, science and spirituality once again coming together. This is again the beauty of our knowledge system, that it's all rooted in science. It's not a figment of somebody's imagination or some story like that. It's all rooted in science. And if you were to go back and see today, most of the spiritual leaders today are all scientists. A lot of them have studied in IIT, have studied in BITS Pilani or somewhere else. They've all RECs. They've studied science and then they've become spiritual leaders. Science and spirituality are rooted. Gargi is one of the people we need to thank so that we had the Yoga Sutras for humanity to listen, learn and evolve with. Again, one of the strong women from Bharatvansh. So Arya is nobility. There was no invasion. The noble were all here. The intelligent were all here. They went to the entire world. So this entire Aryan invasion theory is also wrong. Don't let anybody fool you with that. Read Dr. Kunrad else. I keep telling you to read. Right? So one book I have told you, Arya, it's an anthology of Vedic women. The story of Chitrangada. Beautiful. Who is Subhadra? Quickly, I'm going to ask you this. Who is Subhadra? Sister of Krishna. What do you remember her for? Wow. उसके अलावा उसका कोई अचीवमेंट नहीं है ना. I'll tell you how we remember Subhadra. कृष्णा की छोटी बहन, अर्जुन उसको भगा के ले गया, उससे शादी की. ठीक है. थर्ड वन, अभिमन्यु अर्जुना was explaining the चक्रव्यूह, वो सो गई. उसको आधा ही पता था. पूरा पता होता तो फिर वो बाहर भी निकल जाता. See, a lot of these things we talk about, but let me tell you, It was Subhadra who abducted Arjun. Arjun didn't abduct her. Subhadra held the reins and said, I am making the choice, I want to get married to this man. I am abducting him. And then they got married in proper form. Subhadra is the one who actually ensures that the Dharmarajya is established, because she plays the Rajmata or godmother to both Parikshit and Vajra. Vajra, who went on to rule Indraprastha, and Parikshit, who became the king of Hastinapura. Why? Because Krishna was dead 36 years after the Mahabharata was over. Arjuna, the Pandavas, the rest of the Pandavas and Draupadi did Vanaprastha, left aboard. That's the story. So Subhadra was the one who trained a 36-year-old Parikshit in kingdom, and to ensure that the fight, the Dharma Yuddha that cause was not wasted. That's how strong Subhadra is. Read it in this book. Be proud of the women of our past. There are more. So this anthology will continue. And it's a lot of women who have written this, who have gone back, people from different walks of life, who've left their corporate careers, decided to start reading, and when they read, they just dove into this ocean of knowledge that we have, our knowledge systems. And now they stand proud, tall to say, yes, I am from this Bhukhanda that is called Bharatavarsha. Today, Article 1 of the Constitution defines it as India, that is Bharat. Jai Hind.